Yo, what is up guys? Today I'm going to be working on my 1981 VW Westfalia. Unfortunately, my transmission just died on me. If you own one of these, then maybe you're familiar with the issue the stock transmission has where it gets stuck in my case, I got stuck in third gear. It appears to be a common issue with these things when they get older. Anyways, I'm gonna be dropping this transmission. I got another transmission to put in it. It's a used one, but you know, we're gonna work with what we can. I'd like to get this thing just out of my driveway. Right now, it's still stuck in third gear. I got towed here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'll show you guys along the process what it takes to drop a transmission in this 81 Westfalia. I do really want to do eventually, maybe after this video shortly, I want to do a video with a walkthrough on this van. I've done a whole lot of work to it. I'd like to show you guys what's gone into it. I'll dive into it right now and we'll get going. Alright, so coming to the interior here, I'm going to go ahead and, well, I already went ahead, disconnected the negative, so we can take that starter off without any issues. So now let's move on to the back here. Alright guys, so now we're in the rear. Just taking a look in here, I'm sure you can tell right away that this is not the stock engine. So this is the Subaru 2.2 that I have converted myself. I am going to do a full walkthrough and explanation on everything that I've done, but sticking to the video, I'm going to get down here, kind of remove this throttle plate that holds the throttle wire, and then get to these top bolts on the starter. And then that'll pretty much be it for the top end. I can go ahead, raise this thing up either onto these stands or onto these jacks, and then we can start working underneath. All right guys, so we got this bolt here, 17, that holds in the throttle plate. And then there's this bolt right here. On a stock engine, usually there's a 17 nut on the end of this bolt, but here on the Subaru conversion, it's just the bolt. So that's pretty much it for the top end. At this point, I'm gonna raise up the vehicle and everything else is gonna be done on the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw some wheel chocks wherever they're at. I got some right there for safety, the front wheels, because we are on a slant here on this driveway. So safety first, and then I'm gonna try and see if I can get these under there. Obviously I can't drive the van up onto it, so I'm gonna see if I can jack up the van. I get more height with the ramps, but if not, we'll just go with these 6 tons right here. Alright, what's up guys? So got the van up on the ramps. Last time I did the transmission, I put it on the jack stands, which was nice because, you know, I could rotate the wheel, which helps when you get down into these CVs right there. It's nice to be able to turn the wheel so you can get to all the bolts easier, but you know, the transmission's stuck in gear, so there's really no turning those wheels. Even if I had it on those, I'm gonna go under there with some sockets, take off the shift linkage, and then after that, probably go forth and take off that starter and all the wiring. And then we can go ahead and take off the CV axles after that. You're just gonna take off the engine mount bolts after that, and then the bolts that hold the back end of the transmission in. Should be pretty simple. It's always easier taking it out than putting it back in. So hopefully it doesn't take too long. You can see we got the shift linkage hanging out there next to the starter. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take off those CVs, and then we'll wrap them up with a rag and we'll hang them up to the side.
Alright guys, so I did forget to mention, when you're down here, you're also going to need to disconnect your reverse wiring right there. And then also we're going to do the slave cylinder. So I'm not going to disconnect any of the pressurized brake lines or anything like that, but I'm just going to unbolt it from here and here, and then we'll take it off as a whole assembly.
Alright guys, so now we're here at the end. I'm going to go ahead and start taking the bolts that connect to the engine from the transmission off. I believe there's 4 or 5. I think it's 4 bolts, and then the starter bolt also is one of them, which I already took out. So I'm just going to go around. They're 17 millimeter, and they should be pretty simple to go ahead and knock off. Let's see, taking a look. We got one right there. There's one up there, I believe, behind. It's not that one, it's another one right behind here. And then, what is it? I think it's just that one, so might be just 3 bolts. And then after that, we'll go ahead and take these bolts off right here. But we'll get that jack stand. Oh, and don't forget, you got a ground right here. So that will have to come off too. So I'm gonna go ahead and get going on this stuff. Not a lot of room down here as I'm crawling around. But yeah, we'll get it going. Alright guys, so we got our little pile of bolts here growing. We got everything pretty much done. All I got to do now is grab this transmission jack, wiggle it up under there, support the transmission, and then take out those 4 bolts that hold the back end of the transmission up. And that's it. I mean, gotta love these old vans. You know, they're simple when they're simple, and you know, until you run into some random stuff like stripped bolts or stuck bolts or whatever, you know, old vehicle problems, you gotta love it, the simplicity of this thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that up and maybe do a little time lapse. Alright, what's up guys? You can see we got the transmission out. Really was a simple job. In the end there, I was having issues with my transmission jack getting clearance underneath there. So I just took the transmission off the jack underneath and dragged it out. You know, this one's pretty much toast, needs a rebuild, so I wasn't going to be too delicate with it. It is a bummer. I just did the flange seals, and what else did I do? That's pretty much it. I just did new flange seals and I cleaned it up, and I had just about a week and a half ago just went through this whole process. So anyways, here we are. Transmission's out, so now all I have to do is today's Friday, tomorrow and Saturday I'm gonna take this, go up north and swap it for another used one, and then hopefully we can get this van back on the road. So that's it for the removal. Very simple. So with that being said, thanks for watching. I'm just going to end the video right here. Stay tuned also for after we get this thing running again. I'd like to do a full in-depth walk around and show you guys what has gone into this van. You know, it might not look like much from the back, and it really doesn't look very good on the outside, but I'll just show you guys around at a later date, and we'll dive in and I'll show you all the work that's been done. And yeah, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the future video. All right, peace out.